Hiya, it's the first bank holiday in May, so I thought I'd do another garden update and catch up on how things have been going. So if we start down with the herb box, this is looking quite nice at the moment. So we've got the huge rosemary, which we use a little bit of, but it looks really nice like this when it's flowering. We've got a few other things crammed in here that the rosemary's not quite managed to crowd out. So we've got some sage, which is also just starting to flower, and then down here we've got some thyme, some oregano, which is looking really nice, and then a little bit of curry plant at the back, which we don't actually use for anything, but smells quite nice. We've got the clematis here, which I never quite know how to cut. That's needs a little bit of trimming up. I think it doesn't look super nice, but it has started flowering, and I think it will start growing a bit more after that. We've got our little pallet space where we sometimes shove some bedding plants in. Haven't done that yet, but I think we'll try this year because it looked a bit bare and barren last year without it. If we go this way up the garden, we've got so this is a blackberry, which we've actually trained all along the fence. So blackberry is apparently fruit on last year's growth, so that was last year. That will go all woody, I think, and then we'll get some little stems coming out of it. And actually, if you go right in here, it's just starting to do these little bits out of all the kind of leaf joints. We're starting to get some stems, so you can see out of each one. So I'm hoping some of these are going to turn into some fruit, so that'll be nice. This is a jasmine, which we just have generally growing up the wall. It's quite a thin jasmine, it never seems to really get particularly leafy. This bed, don't think it's changed too much. All the onions and shallots are here. I've had a bit of rain and they're putting on quite a bit of growth, so you can see lots and lots of leaves. And then at the back, I've planted out the peas. So these peas were growing inside, now they're growing all along this support. So the peas are going to grow up that first, and then when the peas are done, kind of by the end of June, then we'll swap over and grow the squash up there. These are our potato pots. So now all our potatoes are planted out. These two here are the early potatoes, so they'll be like new potatoes. Those are pretty much as full as they're going to be. These other ones are only just starting, so I put some soil in, but then as these start to grow, I'll earth them up more and more. We've got the Kaylee's sweet peas here, which are growing up this, and they're getting nice and big. They're currently outgrowing our eating peas, but I think our eating peas will catch up. I'll come back to the greenhouse in a bit. If we look over here, we've got our kind of flower bed, and so the tulips, you can see, are starting to go over. We need to probably go and deadhead a load of these now, but some of the other things are coming through. The heucheras are getting nice and big, and the rhododendron back here is actually flowering. So it didn't flower at all last year, not sure why, but you can see they start this kind of pink colour, and then as they come out they kind of lighten up to this kind of whitey pinky blush colour. So that's looking really nice. We've got some other tall things. These are some like cornflowers that we've planted in and around. Kaylee grew those from seeds and they seem to be doing well. I can't remember what this is. Polyminium has started flowering, so that looks nice. So it's starting to fill out a bit. The Fatsia, this kind of tropical thing, has put out a load of new leaves and they're looking nice. And then this Acer is getting absolutely huge. Very low, but really big and spilling over, so that's looking nice. We've got some pots. These, what they call agapanthus, are coming along. They're leafing. We'll feed them soon. We bought some food for them, so hopefully the food is going to then help make them flower, so we're going to start doing that soon. And then these are the tulips that we've got. Still some of them looking really nice. But some of them, yeah, starting to just kind of lose their shape a bit, so we probably need to have a look at these and trim them back. This is the rose, so one of our roses. We cut that back and we thought we'd cut it too far, but it is growing again, so that's good. So hopefully in a little bit of time that'll grow. This bed, you can just see, has a few little things in it. So this is some coriander. I gave up on waiting for the coriander seeds I planted to actually start. So I went and bought some coriander, but it's being eaten by something, and so it's not looking super healthy. And then if we come around, this is a little row of radish plants. Here we've got some lettuces that we started inside the greenhouse and have planted out. So they're tiny at the moment, but hopefully they'll get bigger. And then this is a little row of rocket plants. Again, tiny at the moment, but hopefully they'll get bigger. May is kind of the month where everything kicks into gear, so hoping that that's gonna all kick off, and by the end of May we should be able to start getting some salad out the garden. Around here, this is our strawberry. So a couple of strawberry plants, we planted these up. These were just in tiny little pots, and we planted them into this slightly bigger trough, and they're looking quite happy. They've already started to, they're flowering, and these flowers will turn into little strawberries in a bit, so that's good. Seems to be putting out quite a few of those. So yeah, so quite pleased with those. And then yeah, some more sweet peas, another bag of potatoes that we need to sort out, and then we can go into the greenhouse. And right now, the greenhouse, you can see we're not actually using this bed at the moment, we're just using it to store 100 different cosmoses. So we've got all these little spiky leaved things. It's a flower called cosmos, which is a really nice plant, but yeah, we need to, we're currently acting as a little bit of a cosmos nursery. And then some other things as well. These are some malopes, so we've kind of planted these out to give them a bit more space. These are some dahlia plants. I think at the moment these ones haven't poked any stalks up, but we can see here's one that's already started to grow. It's got some foliage. Here's some more, growing some foliage. And then yeah, we've got more plants, so more cosmos, another cosmos, but also some grass. These are going to be some leeks that we're growing, so we start them like this, and then when they get bigger we'll thin them out, pick the good ones and plant those into the bed. Over here, this is our tomato plants. So I've now cut these down so there's only one plant. You can see the stump where I killed the other one, but there's only one plant per pot now. And I've still got too many, more than I need. So these ones are the tomatoes, and then this is the tomatillo, which we'll plant outside into a grow bag. These get really big and overtake the space a bit, so I don't want to keep it in here. Back here, this was meant to be 10 different sweet corn plants, but only 2 ever grew, so we're going to probably have to go and source some sweet corn from somewhere else. And then this is chilies. This chili is looking really nice. So this is a cayenne chili pepper. This is the one that's grown the most so far, but it looks quite happy. It's getting bushier and bushier. I guess at some point I will have to plant it out into something bigger, but for now it's doing all right. And then some other little chili plants that started much later, and then these are 3 different types of basil. So normal basil, like a purple basil, which doesn't look very purple, and then a Thai basil. So we'll see how those do. I'm not particularly good at growing basil, but we'll see. Hopefully the greenhouse will be a nice environment for it. But yeah, we've got quite a few things in here. Some more things. What's this? Scabious. Some more malopes. These will all go out. These are flowers. They'll go out into the garden at some point. But yeah, we've just kind of potted them up into slightly bigger cells, and you can see as soon as we've done that, they've really started to push on and grow a lot bigger. So yeah, soon we'll have to move all of this stuff out the way, so we can actually get those tomatoes into this bed. But for now, we're using it as storage. And then down at the front on at the patio near the house, what we've done is we've just planted a few things into some of these pots. Kaylee grew a load of ranunculus, and so we've tried to squeeze these into some of these pots. We're not sure how they'll do, but we'll find out. We've got our nice big Acer, which is really nice, although I think the other one might be getting a bit bigger than it now, because it's now that other one's buried in the ground, so it's probably a bit happier. This is a nice rose, which again we cut back and is doing some good growing now. And then here, what's this? Osteospermum, something like that, osteospermum. So this seems to just be starting starting to flower, so hopefully we'll get that one soon as well. It's got a few buds on it. I did notice as well up at the bed down at that end, there are a few alliums that are just starting out. So yeah, hopefully with a few of those starting to come out, we'll get a bit more colour in the garden that will then kind of carry over once the tulips die away. I think that's about everything for now. It's been a very wet and pretty cold April, so it's been a bit hard to get things going, but we've had a few warmer days, hoping that May is going to be a little bit better and that things will start to kick on a bit now.